Now, revise the Griffith effect. 3-mark question. Griffith effect, also known as bacterial transformation. Griffith effect, also known as bacterial transformation. And here, Griffith scientists used the one bacteria known as pneumococci or Streptococcus pneumoniae, named the bacteria which cause the pneumonia. And here, two types of bacteria are used: virulent S3 and avirulent R2. What is the specificity of the virulent bacteria S3? It has smooth surface as well as smooth colony, which produce the toxic substance and cause the pneumonia. Okay, and second is avirulent type, rough surface and rough colony, cannot produce any toxic substance. Fine. So now the one by one we will give the injection to the mice, and which effect can be created. 4 injections we have to give. One by one we will take it in short form. First, if virulent type S3 injection is given to the bacteria, to the mice will die because it caused the pneumonia. It has the pneumonia, and due to the pneumonia, fever occur, mice will die. Second, avirulent type R2 injection is given to the mice will survive. Heat killed virulent type S3 is given to the mice will survive. But when the mixture of the heat killed virulent S3 plus living avirulent R2 mixture is given to the mice will die, and dead mice blood is analyzed, then we get the idea that mice got the pneumonia. This indicates that living virulent S3 type is present. How it happens? The genetic material moved from the heat-killed virulent type S3 to the avirulent type R2, and avirulent bacteria become virulent. And this practical proof can be given by 3 scientists: Avery, McCarty, and McLeod. Okay, similar 3 scientists were there in the chromosomal theory of inheritance also. Hugo de Vries, Carl Correns, and von Schermer. And in that topic, Sutton and Boveri also there. And then E.H. Morgan. 6 scientists are there in that topic. Fine. But here, please remember that Avery, McCarty, and McLeod, they performed the experiment on the Streptococcus bacteria. The genetic material of this virulent bacteria S3 can be kept surrounding to the living R2. And then what happened here, that the rough surface of the avirulent bacteria become smooth one. As a result, avirulent bacteria become virulent. Okay, so this is the 3-mark question. Okay, so you have to write in this way: here, not that much important. Another portion in this. Now, Hershey and Chase experiment, quick revision. Hershey and Chase experiment. Here in the Hershey and Chase experiment, T2 bacteriophage used there. T2 bacteriophage can be contaminated or can be radioactive, like a radioactive by S35 and P32 two times. The P32 stain can be affect the DNA material only, and very easy to understand and remember this thing. Only you have to write the two important points there. See, in the DNA, phosphoric acid is there. So it is stained by phosphorus radioactive molecule P32. And in protein, amino acid is there, and some amino acids contain sulfur. Okay, as you know that sulfur containing amino acids are cysteine and methionine. Sulfur containing amino acids are cysteine and methionine. Okay, so here the sulfur is become radioactive in protein molecule. So radioactive molecule P32 can be easily entered in the E. coli bacteria. First of all, bacteriophage become radioactive by P32 and S35 sequentially, and then bacteriophage can affect the bacteria. So first phase is infection. See in the chart, first phase is infection. E. coli bacteria can be affected by or infected by the bacteriophage. Bacteriophage are T2, fine. So here what happened? P32 containing radioactive material, it is transmitted from the bacterial body to the from the bacteriophage to the bacterial body. P32 genetic material is transmitted to it. Fine. S35 cannot. So this indicates that DNA material is only able to enter inside the cell, other material cannot. Right? So this is Hershey and Chase experiment, 4-mark question with diagram. You have to write the 3 phases. First phase is infection, second is blending, and third is centrifugation. And after the centrifugation, you have to give the conclusion that P32 radioactive material, it is entered inside the bacterial cell, but S35 containing material cannot. And this indicates that DNA is a genetic material which is entered only inside the cell, protein cannot. Okay, so this experiment you have to remember. Now, okay, after the Hershey and Chase experiment, properties of the genetic material is given there. Okay, 2-mark question. The material which fulfill the following 4 criteria. Then only information is given there. It is important for your board exam. Properties of genetic material એમાં આખું બી 4 માર્કમાં આવી શકે છે. Here in that you have to write about the DNA, RNA, what is the difference, why DNA is stable, why RNA is not stable, metabolically more active, that few points you know that. But these 4 points are very very important for exam. The material which fulfill the following criteria, it is known as genetic material, in which 4 points one by one. First point, it should be able to form its replica by own. એની જાતેનો રેપ્લિકા બનાવી શકતો હોવો જોઈએ. And replica is nothing but the duplication of the DNA. And that's why due to formation of the replica, the process is known as replication. Second, it is chemically and structurally stable for all the organisms. Yes, we consist same structure and chemically same materials in our DNA, but sequence is different. And this indicates that V and T are at the end of this chapter. I will tell you. Third is, yes, it has ability to evolve, become mutated, or in own language you can say everything. It can be changed from generation to generation and responsible for evolution. And fourth point, according to the Mendelian basis, according to the Mendelian laws, it should be able to express its character. DNA form થાય પણ એનું character express ન કરે તો કંઈ કામનું નહીં. ખબર ને? So these 4 criteria are fulfilled by this. Such material is known as genetic material. And the last point between the difference between the DNA and RNA are this. DNA and RNA both are able to mutate, but compared to the DNA, RNA is mutated faster. Right? DNA in the deoxyribose sugar as well as thymine is there. So thymine is chemically stable. That's why DNA is chemically stable, but metabolically less active. Majority, all the metabolic activities, all the physiological reactions can be carried out by the RNA itself, but indirectly can be controlled by the DNA. DNA has mostly depends on RNA for particular metabolic reaction. Okay, so in this way you have to remember. And one point, you know that central dogma. Okay, in central dogma some words are missing there. In MCQ based fine questions, DNA to DNA formation known as replication, and DNA to RNA. RNA are of all the types. rRNA, tRNA, mRNA, all are formed there, known as transcription, and from the RNA to the protein, known as translation. And remember, HIV, like virus, can never follow the central dogma. Why? Because in the virus, RNA is a genetic material, and with the help of the reverse transcription process by reverse transcriptase enzyme. So, you tell me the name of the reverse transcriptase enzyme. Tell me the another name of the reverse transcriptase enzyme. now. RNA dependent DNA polymerase. RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Whereas transcriptase is DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Okay? So I can write now here. Replicase enzyme means DNA dependent polymerase. This is the name of the replicase enzyme. Transcriptase enzyme. Another name of the transcriptase is DNA dependent RNA polymerase, whereas reverse transcriptase means RNA dependent DNA polymerase. And please clear this all the words. Fine. Replication. In the replicase enzyme is used there, and here majority we are learning in the NCERT that only DNA polymerase is given there. So actually DNA polymerase is of three types. But I am talking about the DNA dependent. In replication. independent DNA polymerase, that is also known as replicase enzyme. In the replication process, it is of three types. DNA polymerase 1. Just you little bit remember the video of replication. In the replication video, you have seen that exonuclease enzyme. What is the function of the exonuclease? It removes the RNA fragments at the last second point in the replication process. You know that in replication process, one continuous strand is formed known as leading strand, and on the leading strand only one RNA fragment is there, remaining DNA fragment is one. Whereas in the opposite strand, it is known as lagging strand. It is discontinued one, and on the lagging strand, first RNA fragment is RNA primer is there, then DNA fragment, then RNA primer, then DNA fragment, then RNA primer, and then DNA fragment in this way. So on the lagging strand, the DNA fragment between the two successive RNA primer, it is known as Okazaki fragment. Okazaki fragment cannot consist the RNA primer. Okay? Okazaki fragment is DNA fragment on the lagging strand. After formation of the total DNA new strand on the opposite side, after formation of the whole lagging strand as well as leading strand, then this RNA polymerase, also known as exonuclease enzyme, it removes the one RNA primer fragment from the leading strand and so many RNA primer fragments from the lagging strand. And if you have remembered that at this region, now RNA fragments can be removed by DNA polymerase 1, and then exonuclease is released from that region. So again DNA polymerase 3 come in contact with it, and then RNA fragment instead of that DNA fragment it is regenerated. And at last finally DNA ligase. DNA ligase connects the cutted DNA fragments with the help of the phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds, and two strands are continually formed. Sometimes what happened that DNA polymerase 1 might be, it is non-functional or it is inactivated due to any reason. So DNA polymerase 2 can perform its function, or sometimes 3 related to this same statement. Fine. So here I have written that DNA polymerase 3 in the absence of 1 or 3, it works perfect. DNA polymerase 2 is substituted. It is also known as substituted DNA polymerase enzyme. Okay? It either works as a 1 or 3, but not a both. Both are different there. Right? And you revise the video of the transcription process also. Okay? So in the transcription process, you know that transcription process in that the transcription occur on the small DNA fragment only, that is on the gene. Okay, so on the gene, first promoter site is there. So transcriptase enzyme, DNA dependent RNA polymerase, it is attached to the promoter site of gene. Okay. So now you know that a small fragment of the DNA, it is gene. Suppose this is gene, is nothing but small fragment of DNA. It consists 4 regions. Actually, I have shown that 2 regions, but actually 4 regions. This is known as promoter site, initiation code, initiation site. From that RNA synthesis starts from here. This wall is known as coding sequence. Okay, here don't consider the coding meaning of that coding strand. This is the coding sequence. Coding sequence means the codes of the template chain. Here you consider that. It is not a coding strand. It is the coding sequence, which is mostly useful for elongation process. Okay? So you revise that transcription process. Initially, you know that in the transcription process 3 steps are there, 3 phases are there: initiation, elongation and termination. Initiation consists 2 regions. At the promoter site, RNA polymerase is attached to it, and then from the initiation site, RNA synthesis starts. And one by one you know that in the transcription process, out of the 2 strands of the DNA, one strand acts as a template chain which is able to transcript it, and another strand it is coding strand which is not transcripting. Fine? So here please all of you clear the word, this is the coding sequence, not a coding strand. Okay? And then last, termination site. So on the termination site, the termination of the RNA formation is there, it is over, and then at last you know that at the termination site the releasing factor comes there, fine, and then releasing factor release all these substances, fine, ribosomal unit, RNA polymerase, protein strand, mRNA strand from each other, all are detached from. Okay, so the gene diagram is not given there in the textbook, and so here 4 regions are there on the gene: promoter site, initiator site, coding sequence which is responsible for elongation, fine, and then termination region or terminator region, fine. So properties of the genetic material is over. RNA void in that, one thing is only there. RNA was the first genetic material, fine. Then DNA replication, formation of the DNA strand, it is known as DNA replication. Question is this: in which phase DNA replication occurs? S phase. The given phase. S phase. Yes. So during the S phase, DNA replication occurs, or during the interphase stage. Right? During the interphase stage, mid-interphase कही શકો છો. Okay. Related to that words are used there. Okay. Now, semi-conservative mode of the DNA replication. Semi-conservative mode of the DNA replication can be given by the two scientists, Michelson and Stahl experiment. Okay, so please remember, Michelson and Stahl experiment, it is mostly for the experimental proof for the semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, so here what you have to remember, that whole DNA strand is there. In the nitrogen base, the nitrogen become radioactive by NH4Cl. Here two isotopes are used there. Light isotope, that is N14, and heavy isotope, that is N15. So first of all, they found that radioactive heavy isotope with the DNA, and the DNA consists heavy isotope only. And you know that in the cesium chloride, by centrifugation method, we can identify the isotopes of it. So N15 consisting heavy isotope containing DNA can be kept in the cultural media, which consists the NH4Cl14. Okay, so after 20 minutes, all these bands are hybrid. All the bands are hybrid. So initially N15 consists 100%. So here in this generation, after 20 minutes, N15 consists 50% and N14 consists 50%. And here totally hybrid bands are there. So in first diagram, after 20 minutes, you obtain that only one band on it, that is hybrid band. Keep the same DNA for further 20 minutes in ammonium chloride 4D containing cultural medium for further 20 minutes. What result you obtain there? One band is hybrid and one band is light. Here, one is hybrid band and one is light band. But here, you obtain the 4 strands. But out of the 4 strands, 2 are heavy and 6 are light. So the percentage of the heavy isotope become 25% and light chain consists 75%. But hybrid strands are 2 only here. What is the result after further 20 minutes? I mean to ask you after 60 minutes. Hybrid strand 1 and light band is also there, but percentage wise 12.5% of the heavy bands, okay, and 87.5% of the light band. And after 80 minutes, 6.25 and 93.75% of the light band. After 100 minutes, after 120 minutes, and so on, you can count that proportion of it. Okay, but here it is semi-conservative, means one strand is parental strand and another newly formed is sister, right? Sister DNA. So this is about the semi-conservative mode of the replication, Michelson and Stern experiment. Okay, that is asked in the 4 mark. Okay, now the replication process. You know that during replication process, the unwinding of the DNA that is carried out by the guidase enzyme, DNA guidase, and unzipping of the DNA. Unzipping means the weak hydrogen bonds are broken down. Weak hydrogen bonds are broken down by the helicase enzyme. So this helicase is also known as Swivellase enzyme. DNA helicase is also known as Swivellase enzyme, and this Swivellase or helicase enzyme can be activated by Mg+2. So for the replication of the DNA process, Mg+2, it is very, very essential to activate the helicase enzyme. After the proper function of the helicase enzyme, 2 strands of the DNA are separated out, and both the strands acts as a template chain, and in this way replication fork it is generated. Okay, now listen carefully. On both the template strands, what is the function of the template strand? It provides the genetic information in the coding manner for the formation of the new strand of the DNA. But replication is always start from the 3' end of the template chain. Please remember, on the replication fork, the 3' end of the template chain, from that always DNA replication starts. So 3' end of the template chain of the DNA, just over that, in the 5' to 3' direction, RNA polymerase is generated, and after formation of the RNA primer, first of all, what happened on the DNA 3' end template chain, in the 5' to 3' direction, RNA polymerase enzyme form the RNA primer fragment in the 5' to 3' direction, and this RNA primer fragment can be distinguished by DNA polymerase 3. DNA polymerase 3 recognize the RNA primer, attach to it, and then form the DNA fragment, and that is complementary strand. Okay, So lagging strand is continued one. It is in the direction of the 5' to 3'. Lagging strand, it is also discontinued. It is also in the 5' to 3' direction, but it is discontinued one. Okay, so this is the unzipping or unwinding enzyme, helicase and guidase. SSB is given there in textbook. Single cell binding to protein. Only one nitrogen base, one nucleotides are attached together by the phosphodiester bond. Okay, one by one, and that is carried out by the single cell binding proteins. Topoisomerase, one enzyme is given there, and this topoisomerase is also known as DNA guidase of the prokaryotic cells. Okay, topoisomerase it is also known as DNA guidase in the prokaryotic cells. Okay, DNA polymerase 1, you edit one point there. DNA polymerase 1 is also known as DNA repair enzyme. DNA repair enzyme. Last thing, what is the difference between DNS and DNase? In textbook it is given there DNAS and DNase. This DNAS means multiple number of DNA molecules, deoxyribonucleic acids. This is the multiple number of DNA molecules, and this DNase means the digestive enzyme for DNA, deoxyribonuclease. Okay, so this is the difference between these two words. So here I will stop now.